Hello everyone. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel, Get Crafty with Sally. Welcome. My name is Sally Poole. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Albany, Oregon. Welcome. Today I am going to be showing you how to make this fun card. It's called an interlocking accordion card. I'm going to make one similar to this. I'm going to use a different paper out of the, I can't think of the name of it here, Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper pack. I have used, I think, almost all of the mushroomy 6x6 sheets, so hopefully I can get another pack of that. This one, I did not decorate. I'm going to call this the front, although it doesn't really have to be. This is what the card looks like when you open it. Hence, interlocking accordion. Hopefully you can see all that. So I made this one with the Toadstool Gardens paper, like I said. That is a celebration item. You can get that pack free with a $60 purchase right now. I do believe it's still available. I know it's really popular. And then I also used the Darling DINOS set. Not usually my thing. I'm not really into cutesy, but I do really like this one, and they're easy to color. So I have the bundle. I did use the stamps and the dies. I'm gonna stutter and stammer around a little bit because I have 4 different samples of this card that I'm gonna show you. They are each made with a different stamp set, different colors. So my mind is already to the point of I'm going to forget things and I'm going to be confused. So hopefully I don't mess everything up. So this is the Darling Dinos. This is the card that we're going to be making, although I am using this pink fresh freesia paper. The back of the Designer Series paper pack doesn't really list a ton of colors. It says Early Espresso, Fresh Freesia, Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo, Poppy Parade, and Pumpkin Pie. You can find a bunch of other things that go with it. For instance, the card base that I used on this one is soft sea foam, and I think it matches perfectly. You can also use the peach pie. It goes really good with the pumpkin pie. I don't know if I put that on any cards or not. Anyway, let's get started with this project. Here are the papers that you'll need with the measurements. This is obviously a long card, so you will need 12 by 12 paper for the card base, and I'll explain that to you. So you can either grab a screenshot of this, or as always, I will have a PDF. It will be linked down below this video in the description box. So let's see. Let me scoot this out of the way. And I will also mention, before I forget, for some of these, I used the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper pack. This is one of those older ones that has 48 sheets, so there's a lot. So if you're ever making a card and the Designer Series paper that you're using doesn't quite have what you want for a background or to go with it or to coordinate, or you just don't want to use all the pretty pieces of paper together. These packs are great for coordinating at times like that. So let's set that out of the way. I will tell you that let me grab these base pieces. I did for this little cutout piece that the middle part slides through. That is, here I am hunting for things. I used the dies from the Countryside Corners set. You can use any kind of a shaped die that you think you can get the middle piece to fit through. So go through your dies. Probably the rectangles would work. I thought this was a great shape. And those of you that know me, I can't just, let's pretend we already put this together. I can't just lay my die on a panel and cut it out. I had to cut out my piece of paper that's the same size as those panels. It's 4 inches by 5.5. And then I measured halfway across the top, made a line halfway down, made a line. I made a line from corner to corner. And then you can see how you can line this die up perfectly on this piece of paper. So, like I said, you can just lay your die on here if you want and cut it out. And let's put this one piece together and I'll explain a few different things. I'm probably going to make it a lot harder than it sounds. It's not really very hard to make. So I've actually got a left side and a right side to my card base because it's so long. So this one is 5.5 by 12, and I've scored it at 4 inches and 8 inches. I will have that all in the PDF. And then there's an extra piece here that is 4.5 by 5.5, matches up to this, and I've scored it at a 1/2 inch. And that 1/2 inch score is where we're going to connect these two pieces together. So I'm actually going to fold it on the score line. I'll fold it both ways, and then I'm going to try to lay it flat. And I'm going to have to get my super duper glasses because I just cannot see very good with this ring light going. So let's place a little bit of green glue. You could also use tear and tape on here if you want, but I am one of those people that like to have a little bit of wiggle room because I don't usually lay things down in the right spot the first time. So we'll lay the left side over the right side on that little scored 1/2 inch piece. Make sure that you just go up to the score line. Don't lay your paper over it or it's not going to fold right. And then I am going to fold this, and I'm going to take my bone folder and give it a good press. So the first fold is a valley fold because it goes down like a valley, V. The second fold is a mountain fold. Let's line all these edges up. Give that a good press. So we've got valley, mountain, valley. And you can see now that our card base is coming together. So one thing I will explain about, excuse me, I'm going to take my die out of my little frame and I'm going to lay it on here, and it's not going to be straight. So just pretend you don't want to make the little measured frame like I did. So you can lay this on here, go run it through your machine and cut this out. So pretend there's a hole there. To get it to match the next, this one, you want these two cut out. You can just fold it over, and this will have a hole in it, remember? I'll use my little frame here and make a fakey hole. I don't know if you can see that. Let's use the yellow. So pretend that's a cutout. So you can either trace around that, this middle piece will be gone, so you'll be tracing on the back of this, or you can flip it over the other way and trace it on the front. Hope that makes sense. So that would be on there. And if you don't want to trace it, this will be cut out. You can actually just fold this over like this and run it through again with this taped on here, because you're actually only cutting through one piece of paper. Hopefully that makes sense. If anybody has any questions about that, excuse me, please just leave a question in the comment and I will answer it for you. Hopefully I didn't make that all convoluted. So, excuse me. Prior to cutting all that out, you would, I shouldn't have jumped ahead of myself. And I guess I don't need to do it here we'll save some time. You would lay all of these, well, you wouldn't lay them on here, you would adhere them. Lay your excuse me, designer series paper down. Get them all straight, get your edges even. So then that would all be glued on there. And then you would cut those two center pieces out. And then for the sake of not making you watch me glue all that down, I've already done it. So there we've got our two centers cut out, and we've got all of our panels glued on here. So the next thing we would do is the little middle accordion piece. So it's long as well. It's got a left side and a right side. So this piece is 8.5 inches long. This one is 9.5 inches long. And we're going to do the same thing. It's got a little 1/2 inch score line. This is actually scored at 2 3/4 and 5.5, which makes these two squares the same size, and this one's a little bit bigger. So it's the same thing on this end. These two are the same size. This one's a little bit bigger. And you actually don't have to decorate these if you don't want to, because they kind of are hidden in the middle of that fold. So you're probably not going to see anything. I would put designer series paper on there. So let's give this one a fold and we'll glue these two pieces together. Another reason I don't want to glue all these other ones together some of this paper came out of a 12 by 12 pack, this freesia. I only had enough, there's only 2 pieces in there of freesia. I only had enough to do the card that we're actually going to make, not these little sample pieces. So part of this fresh freesia paper is from an older pack of 12 by 12 sheets. And I don't know if you can see this on the camera. The colors are not quite the same. So I don't want to use all my mushroom paper on here and have this not match, because I would not give it to somebody that way. Okay, so now we've got that glued together. Remember to just put it right up to that score line, not over it, or it won't bend right. So again, we're going to fold, valley fold, mountain fold, and you can actually wait until after you decorate it if you want. I like to fold these because honestly, I can't see as well. And if that fold line is there and I can see it really good, I can usually line my designer series paper up a lot better. Okay, so valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. That's what it's going to look like. They're not going to all be even. The center one's going to stick out a little bit farther. That is the 2 pieces that are bigger than the 4 end pieces. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's the sheet that doesn't match very well. So I'm going to set it aside. I have already got one going here with the same papers. So we'll just finish that. And I've got 2 panels of the smaller ones and 1 panel of the larger one. So yay, I already glued those 2. So let's glue this. And this purple designer series paper is out of that pack that I showed you, Dandy Designs, I think it's called. So let's put a little glue on the back of our designer series paper. And we'll line this up and try to get our borders all even. And if you can hear the dog snoring, that is Willow. She is behind me. Jasper is right underneath me, and he is not snoring yet. So let's lay this down on this first square and try to get it all even. I probably should have started over here and then I could have matched those better, but that's okay. I think this card design is pretty forgiving anyway for whatever you do with it. So let's attach our second piece to this panel. And here's our third and final piece. And I hope by me not gluing every single piece of paper together and onto bases isn't confusing people. I just think it would have been an extremely long video, and most people get the idea. Okay, so there's our middle piece. That is going to go through here. So see how this moves right along? Seems like there's a lot of pieces and things to put together, but it really is easy. So before we attach that, I am going to glue all of my little circles down and my little dinosaurs. So for the circles, I have used my old Layering Circles Framelits dies. That'll be in my PDF. You don't have to use those. You can use whatever you want for this. In fact, you don't even have to put a circle on here if you don't want to. And I might mention this layer, the white layer that's behind the purple designer series paper. You don't have to do that if you don't want to either. You can skip that and then just put the designer series paper down on the base if you want. I like the little edge around it, so that is just me. So you do you. So let's see. These are about 2 7/8 inches, I would say. So let's put glue on the back, not the front. And I am going to stand up to try to get these straight. So I'm going to center this as best I can. There's only a little tiny extra on the left and the right, so try to get your bottom and your top even. There's one. And then the second one. And again, I'm using glue because, as you can see, I am scooching things around. And then this is up to you if you want to put your third dinosaur on this panel or if you want to put your sentiment there. I'm going to put my sentiment there again. So we'll adhere that little circle, and these circles are, I don't know if you can see it or not, I did emboss them with, I don't think I brought the folder over here. I'll have to, I'll put it in the PDF. It's those little cute little flowers. I thought it was cute with these little animals. Okay, so let's now put our sentiment on its little back piece. And for those little animals, you can, I used Stampin' blends, and you can color them however you want with whatever you want. The colors don't necessarily need to match the paper that you're using. This stamp is kind of interesting. It's the way that I was able to do the I love you in red. The roar means in dinosaur, that's all one stamp, and there's a blank spot in there. So then you can stamp again and put I love you in there, or you're the best, or happy birthday, or you're terrific. Those would all fit in there. I don't think the birthday one does. I don't think it's meant to fit in there. So let's adhere this little sentiment piece. And that scallop that I used behind the sentiment is out of this same set, Layering Circles. So we'll try to get this centered. And I have to hold it up to see if it looks straight to me. And remember, I'm not putting anything on these two pieces, but you can if you want. So let's put our animals on. I've got them right here. I've already colored them in kind of crazy colors. So I'm just going to glue them on. I'm not going to pop anything up on dimensionals. This card ends up being pretty thick. You could pop them up on dimensionals, I suppose. It probably wouldn't fold as good. And I don't know how it would be for mailing either. Well, I'm pretty sure even if you don't use dimensionals, I guess I should have grabbed an envelope to check. It's going to be hard to get it in an envelope. I love this dinosaur. I just think he's adorable. And I am going to, I almost forgot, I did stamp one of these little flowers out of the same set. And I am going to put it by the dinosaur on this card. And I think, let me grab my reverse tweezers. I am going to sneak that behind him a little bit. So there's all kinds of little accessories that you can use with this set too. Party hat, there's a balloon, there's glasses, a top hat, these rocks, there's a bow tie. So all kinds of other things that you can add. So let's glue our last little dino down. I hope I'm staying in the camera for most of this, being these pieces are so long. So this guy looks like he's saying rawr. I don't know if there's a rawr stamp in there. Nope, just roar. Okay, so now here is the part where we're going to put these together. And I'm going to mention this while it just popped into my mind. This card, I put the same piece of designer series paper on the front and the back as I did on all four of those panels. It's up to you if you want to put anything on the front or the back. I think most of the ones I didn't put anything on the back. A couple of them I decorated the front. So that's why, let's see, I don't remember which piece of paper Oh, here it is. This was for these 4 pieces of designer series paper, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I wrote or 5 or 6. So you could do 4, 5, or 6, up to you. Let's get these out of here. So the next thing we're going to do, I have taken, this is the frame that I cut these pieces out with. So I took my scrap of fresh freesia, and then this one is the next biggest size. So I laid this one down on my scrap of fresh freesia, and then I lined this one up. You get the idea. Straight. And then I cut 2 of these out, and you'll end up with these little frames. And I actually, when I had these taped together in the shape that I wanted, I actually cut out a bunch of different colors. Of course, I've already used most of them. So while you've got those where you want them, cut a bunch of these out, because you can try, you know, you don't just have to match the card base color. You can try different ones that are in the paper. See, that might be fun, but I think I'm going to use the fresh freesia. So let me grab my chair. This is probably the most tedious part, and I'm going to have to get my super duper glasses again. So let's put some glue on the back of this. And we'll line it up. Hopefully I don't stick my head in the video, but I think I'm going to. Line it up around this cutout. You might have to scooch things a little bit. So there's one. Here's the second one. So let's place it down here on the card. I didn't do any with flowers yet. I think that would be great if you have a designer series paper with some of the beautiful flowers, and some dies that cut out flowers. I think that would be a great card for this. So now let's put our little accordion piece in. So I'm going to feed this through. And what you're going to do, you can see where everything folds. That's the middle. I'm going to just fold it like that right now, but I'm going to fold my little accordion pieces over. And it's kind of hard if you lay this down. It's hard to move this. So I have found that if you hold it up, there's not a lot of pressure on here, and this accordion center part moves a little easier. So I am going to try to line this up as best as I can. You'll have a little space at the top and the bottom, and then you'll want the margin on your sides to match. So that looks pretty good. And I'm just going to take some glue and put it right on that panel. And then I'm just going to fold this piece over, and we're going to hold it for just a second and let the glue adhere a little bit. And then I'm going to take, I've got gluey fingers and little fuzzies hanging on them. Then I'm going to take this and flip it over. So now we're going to do the same thing on this piece. Put a little bit of glue on it. Fold the back piece over and hold that down for a second. And there we have got our interlocking accordion card put together. One more thing I'm going to do. I don't think I'll do all of them on camera, but some people like to do this too. I'm going to get out my Dazzling Diamonds glitter. And I'm going to put some glitter on the dinosaurs. I don't know if you can see it on my first card. I've got my quickie glue pen. Hopefully it is. Maybe it's not gonna write. Oh, let's see. I guess it's going. I just went around these little spots. I'm not going to color. I don't want the glitter all over. I don't want to cover up the color. So I just did around those little spots, and then I just did those little lines that Stampin' Up! Gives us. And I'm going to put a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds on there. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me stand up. Probably not. But it just makes it super cute. And like I said, I won't do all of these and make you watch me do that right now. I'll do it later. Let's see. I did do... Hopefully you can see those, but I'm going to guess not. I just went around the edge of the little pink spots with the glue and the glitter. And then here I just went around his little spots on his back and put the glitter on there. So that's that. Okay. So that is our card. What do you think of that? I think it's super fun, and I absolutely love this mushroom paper. And I really don't like mushrooms. So the next card that I did was and I should have brought the papers over here. I think it's called At the Pond, but the Charming Duck Pond set. This one, I did do a little bit on the front, not much, because I don't think people are really going to be looking at this. I did fussy cut these two ducks out, and I popped them up on dimensionals. And I just cut these little images out with the circles. And then I did the cattails, and after I had glued down the interlocking piece, I put this on there. So there's that one. The next one, I did use the new Terrific Toadstool set and paper. So I just stamped some little scenes on circles. I did take my blending brush and some soft sky, maybe I used Balmy Blue ink to go around those images. And I did do the front of this card. So as you can see, they are thick. So there's that one. Then I also did one with the Utterly Amazing. Can't remember what the paper's called. So there's that one. I think it's really cute too. And then I put, these are die cuts out of the Designer Series paper. And then I have these little, you probably can't see them, little clear, I guess they're gems. They're not Stampin' Up, but they look like little bubbles. So I put those on there. So those are the cards for today. Let me know what you think about them. There's the one we just did. Here's the sample we started with. I think I like this one the best. So let me know what you think. I hope you'll give this one a try because it really is fun and it's probably a lot easier than I made it look. I shouldn't have done so many. If I would have just done one, it would have been cut and dry and pretty easy. So hopefully this doesn't scare any of you off. If you're getting anything out of my videos, please hit the like button, give me the thumbs up, share my video with your friends and family. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It helps my channel grow. Like I said, I hope you'll give this a try. It really is fun. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.